I now call to order the 2016 Annual Meeting of Stockholders of Hormel Foods Corporation. Here with me at the podium are Jim Snee, President and Chief Operating Officer, Tom Day, Group Vice President, Refrigerated Foods, and Brian Johnson, Vice President and Corporate Secretary, who will act as Secretary for this meeting. Each of you received a program as you came into the auditorium. It includes an agenda setting forth the business to be transacted at this meeting. This agenda includes the election of a board of 15 directors, the consideration of an amendment to the company's restated certificate of incorporation in order to implement a 2-for-1 stock split, and the ratification of Ernst & Young as independent registered public accounting firm. We have been notified that the stockholder proposal has been withdrawn. The proposal thus will not be presented or voted on in accordance with SEC rules. We will follow this agenda and conduct the business portion of the meeting before we review our stewardship of your company's business. Time will be provided for questions, and I ask that you please hold any questions you might have for the question and answer period. Your program also includes the rules of procedure we will follow for this meeting. So that we may run a timely and orderly stockholders meeting, we ask that all speakers follow these rules, including limiting their remarks to 3 minutes. We appreciate the cooperation. We will now turn to the business we need to transact for this annual meeting. Mr. Secretary, has proper notice of this meeting been given to stockholders, and do we have a quorum for the transaction of business?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Notice of the meeting was sent to all stockholders of record as of November 27, 2015, which is the record date for this meeting. A quorum is present at this meeting. Approximately 92% of the company's outstanding stock is represented here tonight, either in person or by proxy.
Thank you. Proper notice of the meeting having been given, and since a quorum is present, I declare this 2016 Annual Meeting of Stockholders open for business. The polls for voting on all matters are hereby opened at this time, 8:02 p.m. on January 26, 2016. The polls will remain open until all items of business have been presented. The Board of Directors has elected Jim Sheehan, Raleigh Gensler, and Jim Anderson as inspectors of elections for this meeting. Our first item of business is the election of a board of 15 directors. In addition to me, the nominees for director are as follows: Gary Bojwani, former chairman of Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America; Terry Crews, former executive vice president and chief financial officer for Monsanto Company; Jody Farragon, executive vice president and chief financial officer of Hormel Foods; Dr. Glenn Forbes, former executive board chair and past chief executive officer of Mayo Clinic Rochester; Steve Lacey, chairman of the board, president, and chief executive officer of Meredith Corporation; our lead director, Jack Morrison, managing director of Goldner, Hahn, Johnson & Morrison, and former executive vice president of Pillsbury Company; Dr. Elsa Morano, professor and president emerita, Texas A&M University, and former undersecretary for food safety at the U.S. Department of Agriculture; Bob Nakasone, former president and chief executive officer of Toys R Us; Susan Nestegard, former president, global healthcare for Ecolab; Dakota Pippins, former director of planning at Vigilante, a division of Leo Burnett; Chris Policinski, president and chief executive officer of Land O'Lakes; Sally Smith, president and chief executive officer of Buffalo Wild Wings; Jim Snee, president and chief operating officer of Hormel Foods; and Steve White, president, Comcast West Division. For the second item of business, we need to consider the proposed amendment of the company's restated certificate of incorporation. This amendment will affect a 2-for-1 stock split by reclassifying the company's common stock to reduce the par value and double the number of authorized shares. The third item of business is the board's request that the stockholders ratify the audit committee's appointment of Ernst & Young as independent registered public accounting firm for fiscal 2016. Is there any discussion of these 3 items of business? All of these items were included in the proxy solicitation mailed to you before the meeting. We will now vote on these items of business. Any stockholder who has not voted by proxy and who desires to vote in person by ballot tonight, please raise your hand and keep it raised until an attendant has provided you with a ballot. Please complete and sign the ballot and pass it to the attendant at the end of the aisle. While the balloting is being completed, I'd like to report on executive retirements and advancements during this last year. Julie Craven and Joe Swedberg retired in 2015, each concluding a long and distinguished career with the company. We thank them for their contributions and wish them well in retirement. Wendy Watkins succeeded Ms. Craven as Vice President of Corporate Communications, and Jeff Grev succeeded Mr. Swedberg as Vice President of Legislative Affairs. In 2015, the month of October, Jim Snee was elected the company's 10th President and Chief Operating Officer. In related moves, Larry Vorpal was elected Group Vice President of International, Deanna Brady was elected Group Vice President of Consumer Products Sales, Jeff Baker was elected Group Vice President of Food Service, and David Weber was elected Vice President of Food Service Marketing. I ask all of these officers who were promoted last year to stand and be recognized at this time. This concludes the business portion of the agenda. Since voting on the formal matters on the agenda has been concluded, I declare that the polls are now closed at 8:07 p.m. on January 26, 2016. Next, Jim Snee, Tom Day, and I will provide more details about our business, as well as outline some of our plans. Please keep in mind that some of the comments made tonight will be forward-looking. Actual results may differ materially from those projected in these statements. As we started fiscal 2015, we provided guidance to Wall Street that indicated we thought we'd be able to grow earnings in the upcoming year in a range of about 10 to 14%, our normal 10% goal, plus we were going to have a full year of the muscle milk contribution from the acquisition we had made in the prior year. As of the end of the first quarter, we were on a roll, and we were able to raise that earnings guidance to a 12% to 17% range. But then during the second quarter, our Jennie-O Turkey Store operation encountered avian influenza and ended up losing significant volume in their business. As of the end of the second quarter, we held our guidance steady at this 250 to 260 range and kind of were worrying a little bit about whether we'd be able to hold that. But between the strong effort of Jennie-O Turkey Store to recover from that and some great efforts throughout the rest of the company, by the end of the third quarter, we were actually in a position to raise the guidance range again to the $2.57 to $2.63 range. And ultimately, we concluded the year with an outstanding 19% increase in earnings per share at $2.64 per share. Because of that lost volume, however, during the second half of the year of Jennie-O Turkey Store, coupled with some declining pork markets for our refrigerated foods and international groups, we actually ended the year with flat sales, a little bit unusual for us, but we still are at a $9.3 billion level as of the end of the year. And another exciting aspect of our performance during fiscal 2015 was the fact that all 5 of our business segments were able to deliver segment profit growth during the year. This evening, you're going to hear from Jim Snee about some of the initiatives in our grocery products, Jennie-O Turkey Store, specialty foods, and international divisions. And then our featured presenter this year is Tom Day, who runs our Refrigerated Foods Group, and he and his team have delivered, as you can see, 2 outstanding years in a row. That was why they were able to move the boulder in that video. And Tom has some great stories to tell you about how his operation works and also about our new Applegate acquisition. Speaking of acquisitions, the company certainly has been busy over the last number of years on the acquisition front. And through the decade of the 2000s, our deal range was kind of in the $50 million to maybe about $200 million range. More recently, we've been able to up the ante a bit with some of the acquisitions we've made in recent years. Holy Guacamole coming on board in 2011, Skippy in 2013, Muscle Milk last year in 2014, and then Applegate in 2015. In addition to these being larger deals for the company and therefore able to move the needle with our now larger company, we've been excited in terms of the aspects of bringing a broadening to our portfolio, of making us more global, providing more multicultural offerings to consumers, providing more healthy and holistic offerings, and also looking for on-the-go solutions to today's on-the-go consumers. We continue to place a great deal of emphasis on new product innovation within the company. Indeed, innovation has been a heritage of Hormel Foods since George started the company in 1891. In this past year, we were recognized by IRI with the pace setter items. So these are items that were already in the marketplace and were among the top selling items during the past full year in the market. So our Muscle Milk Pro Series, our Rev Snack Wraps, and our Holy Guacamole Minis qualified for this distinction. In addition, the editors from Progressive Grocer magazine each year look at the most new products out in the marketplace and have a panel of judges that kind of make an assessment to see what they're most excited about. And we were gratified to see we had 8 items company-wide, ranging from Farmer John to Jennie-O Turkey Store to our grocery group and to our meat products group, that made that list. The next largest amount by any other company in the U.S. was 3 items, so a really nice accomplishment by our team. In terms of being innovative as well, it really extends itself to the kind of workplace environment we want to offer. We continue to offer health care to all our employees, retirement benefits to all of our employees. Out in the political marketplace, if you will, that there's a debate going on about minimum wages, whether it's at the state level or at the federal level. But frankly, companies don't have to wait for governments to establish a minimum wage. We looked at a number of these other leading institutions that had named a minimum wage for their absolute newest employees in different operations, and decided last year that we really needed to be part of that group. We established $10 an hour as our floor wage in 2015, and we'll raise that to $11 an hour in 2016. Our median wage, when it comes to our hourly wage workers throughout the company, is over $15 an hour. Then in addition to the base wages, health care, and pension benefits we provide, our company has a long legacy when it comes to being generous in the area of sharing profits. Indeed, profit sharing started with J. Hormel back in the 1930s. Our legacy joint earnings program continues to grow each year, but on top of that, we've been able to expand a number of programs and include more of the parts of the company, so that really now all entities within the company have at least some element of profit sharing. And indeed, with the growth in earnings of the company, you can see the growth in that contribution has also increased from around $19 million in 2006 to over $40 million in this most recent year. We were very gratified to have a very special occasion here last spring. Dick and Nancy Knowlton were kind enough to invite us out to their desert home and to tape a session in advance for our 125th anniversary this year and for the new grand opening of our Spam Museum that's obviously coming on this spring as well. So we did some individual interviews, and then we also had a chance to sit down over our favorite Spam dishes and just chat a little bit about the business. And I thought it would be kind of fun to share with you a couple of the excerpts of that chat, so we'll go ahead and run that now.
I think the greatest strength of the company is a part of the company that outsiders don't see. The core strength we have, function by function. I'd put Hormel people up against anybody in the industry. You know, our R&D, our production people, our cost control people, our law department, you just go on and on. I think when Hormel gets behind something, we have the firepower to deliver.
The marketing is very close to the production. And
Sure.
that is
really true.
one of the things I think that's cost saving, and it's also identifying opportunities. I think we are quicker to look at the opportunities and to
right.
find the product that will fit.
That's right. The people
occasion.
who need to fix it are
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
So we also hear from our suppliers, because they can get behind the scenes a little bit and really see, who's doing what in the company. And we'll hear that all the time about just how strong the team members are. And of course, they frankly are kind of admire and are a little bit jealous of the long-term culture we have and the fact people are so loyal to the company and stick with the company over a long time.
You believe everything the suppliers tell you? In this case, I do.
I think we've benefited also from the foresight that Jay Hormel had and George in creating the foundation, and the fact that the company is protected in that regard, allows us to make long-term decisions and allows employees when they come to the company to have some confidence that the company is going to be around if they stick with it. I think I can speak for Dick and Joel to say that it's been our honor collectively to serve as the president of the organization for over the past 35 years. But it was with a great deal of excitement that I was able to pass that mantle on to Jim Snee as just the 10th president in the company's 125-year history late this last October. At this time, I'd like to introduce Jim Snee to tell us more about exciting things going on in more of our divisions.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Jeff. It's my pleasure to be here this evening and share with you some of the great work being done by our team to keep our company successfully moving ahead. You know, at Hormel Foods, continuous improvement isn't some stopgap measure or some short-lived undertaking. It's truly in our DNA. And every year, we recognize this continuous improvement process with our best of the best competition. And this competition is based on projects that are submitted from employees across the entire company with a laser-like focus on making our company better. And so to give you some perspective, when we started this Best of the Best project in the year 2000, we received 265 submissions, and we've seen that number grow exponentially this past year to over 1,500 projects. And we categorize these projects into 3 different areas: environmental sustainability, innovation, and then process-oriented projects. And we've already awarded the Sustainability and the Innovation Awards this year, and we have those teams with us. And as is our tradition, very, very early tomorrow morning, we're going to have the Process Best of the Best teams presenting to our senior team, and upon completion of those presentations, we'll select a winner. And so I'm going to introduce all of those teams to you this evening, and I'll ask as I introduce you, you stand and be recognized. And then once I'm done, we'll give them all one big round of applause. And so our Sustainability Best of the Best team is from Farmer John in Vernon, California. And this team is actually, Farmer John is our first 2-time winner of the Sustainability Best of the Best Award with their energy savings project. And they calculate that they're saving a projected 1.7 million kilowatt hours per year. And they're doing this by replacing all their non-LED lighting and adding hybrid electrical truck refrigeration units. Kind of a fun fact in their presentation to our team was they talked about how this energy savings is the equivalent of taking 1,000 automobiles off the road every year. And so really quite an accomplishment by the Farmer John team. We're in our 2nd year for Innovation Best of the Best, and this year a team from the corporate office was the winner with the launch of our Skippy Pb Bites. They were able to take real Skippy peanut butter, put it in an on-the-go format, and so not only is it a new item, but it's an item that's unique to the category. And so now we'll talk about the Process Best of the Best teams. The first one is from the Austin plant with their dry sausage extended run project. And this team was able to increase dry sausage throughput by more than 3 million pounds. That's quite an accomplishment. And so we've taken their accomplishment and we're spreading it to other dry sausage facilities in our system already. Our next team is a team from the corporate office and the Completes Optimization Project, where they were able to standardize formulas and simplify ingredient statements across the entire Completes line of products. Next, our team from Osceola Foods, where they were also able to develop and implement a new extended run schedule that provided us much needed pre-cooked bacon capacity to the tune of over 1 million pounds. And this one's a little bit unique because top you see the team from Osceola, and they were assisted by a very capable corporate office team who obviously provided a lot of support for the project. And then we have another team from the Austin plant and their VAT utilization project, where they were able to optimize the supply and demand of the metal vats that they have available, and they were able to reduce the use of cardboard totes by 75%. Very nice accomplishment. And so while we look forward to hearing from the process teams tomorrow morning at a very early hour, please join me in congratulating all of these teams on a job well done. So as important as it is for us to continue with our continuous improvement process, it's equally important for us to be focused on the continued growth of our business to ensure this company's success. As Jeff mentioned, I'm going to talk to you about 4 of our business segments, and then you'll hear from our featured presenter, Tom Day, to give you a more in-depth view of refrigerated foods. Our grocery products division had an outstanding year, and their growth was really fueled by the continued growth of their core items, but also some new items as well. Our Spam brand of products continues to be supported, and as you saw in the video, we launched the Spamerican Tour this year, which essentially is a mobile food truck for Spam. And Spam is recognized as being an on-trend fusion food and was most recently recognized in Bon Appetit magazine, highlighting its popularity. From our Megamix portfolio, Wholly Guacamole continues to be the share leader in the refrigerated guacamole space, holding a 42% share of that market. This year, the team launched Wholly Guacamole Minis, a great on-the-go alternative for the consumers who love that product, and they can now have it anywhere, anytime they want. And when we acquired the Skippy brand, an innovation challenge was issued to take peanut butter out of the jar, and our grocery products marketing team did just that this year. With the launch of Skippy Pb Bites, we've got a great, real-tasting peanut butter item that meets the on-the-go demands and provides a great snacking alternative. Jennie-O Turkey Store faced unprecedented headwinds in the supply side of their business this year. But in spite of that short-term challenge, make no mistake about it, this is a very strong growth vehicle for our organization well into the future. They are a clear brand leader. With their innovation and marketing efforts, they have 15 different items that are either number 1 or number 2 in the categories in which they compete. And it continues to be a better-for-you, healthier alternative to the ground beef that's sold in the grocery stores, and the share growth. This team has done a great job with their marketing and advertising efforts. Their Make the Switch campaign continues to educate consumers and build trial and awareness while they continue to gain share in the categories in which they compete. Our specialty foods team has done a great job capitalizing on the 2014 acquisition of our muscle milk brands. They've been able to maintain the number 1 market share, the number 1 position with ready-to-drink items. They've been able to reinvigorate the innovation pipeline. This year, they've launched the new Muscle Milk Pro Series and have a new line of Muscle Milk organic items. And they've also been able to go beyond gas stations, convenience stores, specialty channels, and gyms. They've expanded that distribution into more traditional retail outlets. And so just about anywhere you go in the United States, you're sure to find the muscle milk item that's right for you. In our international division, over the last 5 years, they've experienced a compound annual sales growth rate of 15%. And they've done that through some very long-standing partnerships in the Philippines and South Korea, strong exports of our iconic brands, Spam and Skippy, and the ongoing success that we're experiencing with our very well-developed retail and food service businesses in China. As you saw in the video, we broke ground on a new facility in April in Jiaxing, China, and this is going to provide much-needed capacity for our business. And as we look to the future, we would love to take the business model that we've set up in China and take it to other parts of the world as we pursue additional multinational expansion. And so our strategy of supporting core items, being aggressive on the innovation front, and strategically acquiring brands really has created this amazing portfolio of products that covers the entire demographic spectrum. And so no matter where you as a consumer fall on this demographic spectrum, we have a product or brand for you. And these are strong brands. 30 brands that have a #1 or #2 market share position. And we know how important strong brands are to the future of our organization. And we know that we have to support these brands. In today's world, there's still traditional print and television media, but obviously all of us know the expansion of the digital world. And so our marketers are in tune with that space as well. And tonight, I'd like to share with you some of the great work that we're doing to support our brands with television, print, and digital media.
Chili Nation is all about freedom. Freedom to add cheese, sour cream, or heck, go crazy, add corn chips. We're Americans, not Americans. This is Hormel Chili. We are Chili Nation.
Holy guaca, holy guaca, holy guacamole.
Holy guaca, holy guaca, holy guacamole. Holy mole, holy mole.
Holy, 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 holy guaca, holy guaca, holy guacamole.
Made with yummy, natural ingredients. One taste of holy guacamole will have your taste buds ready to dance. What are you waiting for? Try it today and see why holy guacamole is America's #1 guacamole.
Holy guacamole.
I'm home. I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse. These are really good.
New Skippy Pb Bites, now in the peanut butter aisle.
There are patterns to everyday life. The sun rises in the east. Winds blow from the west. Heaving oceans rise and fall, and every darkness reveals the brightest stars. There is power in these everyday patterns, and for that, we must be strong every day.
I think they're really excited that we didn't do it an entree here, an entree there, but we really did make the switch and go all in.
It's really fun that we're doing this.
It's genio.
Turkey tastes as good as it looks. Making a turkey cassoulet over there. And this is going to be turkey tikka masala. We got my seal of approval, that's for sure.
It's delicious turkey. Oh yeah. It's going to be like your traditional home-cooked cassoulet at the house.
These are turkey samosas.
It looks beautiful.
Especially today, we made just about everything out of turkey, which was surprising. I'm surprised how versatile turkey really is.
This is turkey pepperoni. This is turkey chorizo.
It's genio turkey. It's pretty good. It's delicious.
And it was delicious. Definitely going back for seconds. It's nice to have turkey for once.
Should make that salad again.
Personally, I think it tastes a little better. It's kind of nice to switch it up and not have chicken for once. It was delicious. I liked it very much.
A lot of people came out for seconds, thirds.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
I think I can. 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 I knew I could.
Put it on a pizza, yum. A nacho yum. Put it on it, anything for pepperoni. Ooh, I wanna eat it up. Eat it up. Got to get me some homemade pepperoni. My, woo! Pepperoni. My homemade pepperoni.
Welcome to the deli.
How's your turkey?
It's good.
Is it all natural?
It's natural tasting.
Well, what's that mean?
It means it tastes natural.
Because it is natural.
The taste is.
What?
Yes.
Huh?
What?
Wait.
Welcome to the deli.
Meat.
So I think it's pretty safe to say that we have some pretty creative individuals doing a lot of great work to drive these very strong brands forward well into the future. And you should all feel very good about the future growth of our organization. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to all of you tonight our featured presenter, Mr. Tom Day, who is our Group Vice President of Refrigerated Foods, who's going to share with you some of the great work being done in that organization, and also share with you what it is that group's doing to move that boulder through the building. And my office sits on the other side of the wall where he's going, so it'll be interesting to hear what he says. Tom?
Good evening. It's a privilege to be here tonight representing the 8,500 men and women who make up the Refrigerated Foods Group. Some of you may be wondering, what exactly is the Refrigerated Foods Group? Tonight, I'll answer that question for you and share with you how and why this group was formed, give you an overview of our current structure today, and then finally, and most important, share with you the growth opportunities we have as a result of our expanding portfolio. When George Hormel made a decision to enter the meatpacking business and started this company in 1891, in essence, he also created the Refrigerated Foods Group. He and his team worked with producers, secured raw materials, and produced quality pork products, which is still what the Refrigerated Foods Group does today. Very early, Mr. Hormel understood the importance of collaboration with local producers. As a result, he was able to select the finest livestock in the area and manufacture products from these quality raw materials to meet the needs of his customers. That first year, Hormel harvested approximately 660 hogs. And while the company has grown in the past 125 years, I think it's safe to say that if Mr. Hormel was here with us tonight, he would be amazed and proud of his legacy and impressed with the stewardship demonstrated through the years by the Refrigerated Foods Group and our company. I'd like to show you a short video that will highlight a number of our company's refrigerated foods milestones and demonstrate why we are inspired by our past. In 2015, the Refrigerated Foods Group accounted for $4.3 billion in sales, which represented 47% of our company's revenues and 38% of our company's profit. The Refrigerated Foods Group is comprised of 6 distinct areas: operations, fresh pork, meat products marketing, food service, affiliated business units, and most recently, Applegate. Our operations group is led by Jeff Newton, who is a 36-year veteran of our company. Jeff and his team are responsible for the procurement of our livestock, as well as the further value-added manufacturing that takes place in our 10 refrigerated foods facilities. Just like Mr. Hormel did in 1891, we still cultivate strong relationships with the independent hog producers that supply the majority of our hogs. Many of these local producers have been working with Hormel Foods for multiple generations. After these hogs are brought to market, our production professionals are responsible for producing the trusted Hormel food products for consumers and food service patrons. You can be confident that the team members in each of our plants are committed to our key results: people safety, food safety, animal welfare, and the manufacturing of our quality, safe, and wholesome products that are consistent and meet the needs of our customers and consumers. Next, I'd like to talk to you about our fresh pork team led by Paul Pyle. Their mission is to balance our supply needs both domestically and internationally. This team does an exceptional job of selling our fresh pork loins, pork ribs, Boston butts to key retailers, food service distributors, and restaurateurs. The key results for this team is to meet our customers' requirements and optimize our company's returns. Our meat products marketing team is the third area within the Refrigerated Foods Group. This team is led by Steve Vinegay. It is responsible for the development and planning of the brand positioning and strategy of our entire meat products portfolio. Through these marketing and advertising efforts, like the commercials you saw earlier, customers recognize our leading brands when they see them on retailer shelves. The results speak for themselves. Our legacy brands like our Hormel pepperoni, which just celebrated its 100th anniversary, and Hormel Black Label bacon continue to perform well by staying relevant with consumers. Newer items, such as our Hormel Rev Wraps and our Hormel Natural Choice, were launched specifically to meet the changing needs of today's consumers and fit with their lifestyles. This past year, our deli team launched Deli by Design under the leadership of Jennifer Johnson to leverage the collective prepared foods knowledge and behind-the-glass expertise. By partnering with our customers, this initiative will strategically meet the growing trends and preferences for their deli customers and position Hormel Foods as a leader in the deli space. Those of you who attended last year's stockholders meeting heard Deanna Brady discuss the importance of the food service group and the positive impact it has had on our company since it began 25 years ago. I am proud to report the food service group had another very strong year and will continue to execute their proven strategies under the direction of Jeff Baker. Their mission will be to continue to penetrate and saturate the various segments within the food service industry. During the past 2 decades, we have found several companies that we considered to be a perfect fit for the refrigerated foods portfolio. These businesses are grouped within our affiliated business units division and are led by Mark Coffey. Farmer John is located in Vernon, California, and is a strong West Coast brand. Burke Marketing Corporation is headquartered in Nevada, Iowa, and manufactures pizza toppings. And finally, Dan's Prize is in Long Prairie, Minnesota, and produces fully cooked beef items. Hormel is always looking for growth opportunities, both internally and externally. Several years ago, during a management strategic discussion, we reviewed our current portfolio and asked ourselves, Where will we find growth in the years to come? What are our customers and consumers asking for? Are we giving them all the choices they want? If we were to add something to our portfolio, what would it be? Do we have all the colors we need to complete the picture? If we were to add a color, what color would it be? Let me ask you something. How many of you have ever owned a box of crayons? Yeah, me too. I will always remember the day my mom bought me a brand new box of crayons for my first day of school. I was so excited to have them and to show them to everybody. But I also thought, wow, with all these colors, just think of the beautiful pictures I could draw. Through the years, Hormel has used a variety of colors, companies and brands to draw a beautiful picture of what we believe success and growth for our company looks like. As we asked ourselves the questions I mentioned, we knew we needed to add a new color to our box. That color is Applegate. We identified that the opportunity for continued growth within the refrigerated foods group is found in the natural and organic market. We believe that through Applegate products, we are able to offer consumers the new choices that they're asking for with the #1 brand in the natural and organic market. This perfectly complements our Hormel Natural Choice products. When Stephen McDonald, the founder of Applegate, shown here on the left, decided to sell his company, we were very enthusiastic because we saw the opportunity to appeal to younger consumers with disposable income who are looking for meat with the attributes that the Applegate products offer. The due diligence process began, and 10 months later, we announced that we had purchased Applegate. So what kind of a company did we purchase? Let me show you.
Our consumers love us because they feel like we're open and honest with them. It's a company with a cause that can also have some fun while they're succeeding, just breeds a loyalty that's, I think, unparalleled, really.
Our appeal to moms, even to, millennials, to anybody that really cares about what they're putting into their bodies and what they're feeding their families, that kind of attitude, appearance, overall brand image is really what's driving people to continue to go back and buy more and more Applegate.
There's a lot of love there when I talk about Applegate because there's an openness, there's a feeling of community, and that's so important to any work environment to be able to feel that. But it goes beyond that because you really feel good about what you're doing.
Now we're really trying to distinguish ourselves even more, raising our standards higher than they've ever been. Humanely raised means something more to us than it does to most other brands. And as a result, that's the message that we're pushing home.
The environment and the people we work with is absolutely what makes this place so successful.
Yeah, there's no one here that's one person at work and another person at home. That's how we say. You're allowed to be who you are 24/7.
When you have a group of people who are bought into the mission, there's a momentum and you feel that energy in the workplace.
People live and breathe it, sort of. It feels like that to me, that, when they came here, even if they didn't have that philosophy before, they have it now.
The dynamic, the culture, the environment, the supportiveness that we kind of put out for each other.
Everybody is here is contributing to a company that is really healthy and is growing, and it's sharing a mission that's valuable to our constituents. We're just all proud of the fact that we are changing the meat we eat.
I think that shared vision for wanting to see the industry change and people feeling very passionate about that. I think that honestly is what drives everyone here.
If I couldn't stand behind the brand and the products that I'm selling and developing, I'd never be able to work here a day again. Yeah, I know.
As you can see, the passion of the inspired people that work at Applegate is real. Applegate offers our company the opportunity to have a strong presence in a fast-growing category. Applegate has built a trust and an affinity with a very strong and loyal customer base that previously we had not reached. In other words, we now have the opportunity to offer more choices to meet the needs of today's consumers. Applegate and their strong management team brings a new way of thinking and expands on our ability to see unique opportunities that have far-reaching implications, including areas for substantial future growth with many of our key retail customers, and opening up new dialogue with our producers and the natural and specialty channels. We are also excited about the future opportunity to leverage our strength in the food service industry. We have pledged that Applegate will continue to operate as a separate entity, retaining the concepts that have yielded them success. But now that they are in our color box, they will benefit from the strong capabilities we have in research and development, quality assurance, and consumer insights. We are committed to the standards and practices that Applegate has stood for in the past, and to their mission, changing the meat we eat. Personally, I must tell you that in my 35 years with this company, this has been one of the most exciting opportunities that I've had the privilege to be involved with. And I do believe this acquisition will be transformational for our company. Applegate is poised for growth. And the clarity, focus, and alignment throughout the Refrigerated Foods Group has never been stronger. Hormel is a company that is inspired by our past, a rich heritage of working hard and delivering results. Today, we have a box of bold colors, and our strong core portfolio is growing. As we continue innovating for the future through our quality, integrity, value, and vision, just imagine how beautiful a picture we'll be able to draw as this box gets bigger and bigger. Our company, your company, has a bright and colorful future. Thank you.
As a result of these exciting initiatives that Jim and Tom have described for you this evening, we ended up having another successful year, and so the board of directors was in a position to once again increase the dividend at our November board meeting. This year, the increase was 16 cents per share. It represents the 50th consecutive year that Hormel Foods has been able to raise its dividend. We're one of only 10 companies in the United States with that distinction, and the average rate of growth recently has been 18%. We had another, thank you. We've had a nice run as well when it comes to the stock. Indeed, in fiscal 2015, if you look at the overall stock market, it basically was flat, which is actually looking good compared to how 2016 is starting in terms of the overall stock market. But our company ended the fiscal year at $68.33 per share. Last I looked, we were more in the $75, $76 range, so we've continued to grow even since the end of the fiscal year, clearly exceeding our food peers and the overall marketplace over that 5-year time frame. And while we can't really control what the stock market does or what the value of our company is in that regard, we do believe we can control our company's performance. We've had long-standing goals in place of seeking to grow our sales at a rate of 5% per year, and even with this flat year in 2015, if you look at the 5-year track record, we are indeed hitting that 5% goal. and we seek to grow our earnings at a 10% rate, and indeed we've been able to exceed that with 13% increase on an annualized basis shown here. I believe that we have the team, the brands, and the philosophy of continuous improvement in place that should bode well to continue that kind of great track record of success. Thank you. Our inspectors of elections have now tabulated the voting, and our secretary has a report on this voting. Mr. Johnson, will you please give us the report?
Mr. Chairman, each of items 1 through 3, as identified in the proxy statement and voted upon by stockholders here tonight, has been approved by the required vote.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. The final tabulation of the vote will be included in a Form 8-K filed with the SEC in the next few days. This year, we are excited to be celebrating the company's 125th anniversary. Events will include festivities here in Austin, as well as many other Hormel locations. The Austin Community Celebration will take place on Friday, July 29th, with a block party on Main Street, which will include award-winning entertainment, great food, and activities for the whole family. We will also celebrate the official grand opening of the new Spam Museum that day. The soft opening will be more like in April. We will be unveiling more details of the 125th anniversary in the coming days and weeks, and look forward to celebrating with you. Our meeting is adjourned, and thank you very much for coming.